Drop 100 on the DJ, play some 90s R&B. Every day a different form when you ride and shot with me. I can take you to the mansion, hit a yacht and have a drink. You been California dreaming, close your eyes and don't you blink. Drop 100 on the DJ, play some 90s R&B. Every day a different form when you ride and shot with me. I can take you to the mansion, hit a yacht and have a drink. You been California dreaming, close your eyes and don't you blink. Let me sweep you off your feet, we do London for a week. Really ain't the one for waiting, but my presence make you leap. And it's ain't just about your body, want your mind and then your sheets. I don't fuck with none of these bitches, if I want you it's for keeps. I can show you how I'm living, take care of you like my peeps. Fly you out to Carolina, I can listen while you speak. You want Fendi, hear some cheddar, cause I know you ain't no leech. It don't make the problem better, but put a smile up on your cheeks. When I fuck up in that pussy, I make love like it's a treat. Cause I really say the moment for the times that we can't beat. Sleeping in my Texas tea, cause you said it smell like me. When I'm overseas, you callin', see my face and it's relief. She ain't used to money calling, all her niggas always beef. Off-white and Lil Prada, I want diamonds in my teeth. She ain't used to gangsta loving, kiss her toes and let me eat. I can give you your desire, cut you off and set you free. What's the good old big deal with the good old people? It's your boy Young and Hefe. Don't care about number what the check say. Make sure you go ahead, like and subscribe, because it don't cost you nothing to press that button. And if you ring that notification bell, I'm going to bring you mail. What's the good old big deal with the good old people? It's Hot Topics with your boy Young and Hefe. And I'm here to deliver you another one like the other one. The recipient of Hot Topic today, yours truly, Sweetie Luce Cannon. So, y'all know that bail hearing. You know that bail that bail got denied. It got revoked. So, in strong suit, y'all know, regardless what you do in this social media space, you can be solid. You still gonna garner hate. You can be bullshit, and you still gonna garner love. So it looks like that Luce may still have a lot of supporters out there and or fans, you know what I'm saying? That's what is diabolical, you know what I'm saying? Boogeyman tactics and the things he do, you know what I'm saying? Some people are still out there for him. You got to love a villain. A villain needs love too. So that bail hearing got revoked the other day, and it got revoked due to self-admitted crimes that he allegedly done or inserted himself in, as well as lies, and as well as they're going to use this term every time, and it been used on me, a menace to society. All those threats he been making, all these videos they could pull up on YouTube, they're resurfacing, they're in the Fed files, and they're definitely using it against him. They don't have to, because one thing about it, I've seen and I know firsthand to where somebody who ain't fought the federal system don't know. The federal judge can do what they want to do. I had the federal judge tell me this is his courtroom. I can call the ACLU, the attorney general, whoever. This is his courtroom, you know what I'm saying? And he meant that. And he can't be barred, sued, or suit filed against him or nothing. The only people that can disbar is a panel of his own, and that rarely happens. So, with that being said, Luce Cannon is on Big U indictment. But I guess the paperwork of the bail hearing and the paperwork of the robbery that they charging him on has finally dropped. And I could have went to Pacer and got it myself, or however you get it. You know, some supporters send it to you and things like that. But, you know, I'm fresh from the dentist, you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel the need to. Somebody else already placed it out there. So, shout out to channel Seti Nash, you know what I'm saying? This is, I think, like my second time covering some of his content. He dropped the paperwork. I don't know if that's his voice saying he's a Luce Cannon supporter or whatever, but hey, if it is, it is. But this paperwork came by way of his channel, and the thing that I'm going to react to came by way of his channel. And I was going to leave this Luce Cannon thing alone. Y'all know I've been on Luce Cannon top in our head. But when I was listening to this reaction and I was hearing some of these things, I was just like, some of this is just not true. So, you know, here I am, you know what I'm saying, in orderly, true fashion to debunk it and or let you know this is how it go. So we're going to get into this paperwork, and y'all already know, man, it's the Hef weight and the Hef effect. We going to commentate.
It seemed like y'all really care about the Luce Cannon stuff and everything. And once again, let me say this. I with Luce, so you know what I'm saying? If y'all hear a bit of bias, then you just hear a bit of bias. But all I'm gonna say is this. There was something that a lawyer said, and I'm gonna play it a little bit later on. And this right here kind of goes to the way to what Big U was saying in a positive but in a messed up way. And it's something I've been telling you cats from day one. But anyways, let's just get to the content real quick. The United States District Court, Central District of California, United States of America versus Tremaine Ashley Williams. Then we go right here. On motion by the government, on court's own motion in a case, on the further allegation by the government, a serious risk that the defendant will flee. So you have all that. Then it says the court finds that no condition. So this is basically them telling them, nah, ain't no way. So they saying basically the court finds that no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the safety of any person or the community. So what they basically trying to say is Luce is a monster out here. That's how they're writing that, right? So then it talks about the things that the court considered, the nature and circumstances of the offenses charged, including whether the offense is a crime of violence, a federal crime of terrorism, or involves a minor, victim, or a controlled substance, firearm, explosive, or destructive device, the weight of the evidence against the defendant, the history and characteristics of the defendant, the nature and seriousness of the danger to any person or the community. The court also has considered all the evidence adduced at the hearing in the arguments and / or statements of counsel and the pretrial services report / recommendation. All right, so here we go. This is where they base is at. They're saying he's a danger. Nature of the offenses and defendant's role in the alleged extortion / robberies, 2 active protection orders, noting 1 is reciprocal outstanding warrants report of violent January 2025 incident. So this is what's so crazy that if I'm gonna just keep on saying it, Brad. As far as everybody in this case, Luce Cannon is the one who has the most chance to beat his case. So
So there it is. If I serve myself correctly, I think in fact that is Seti Nash voice. You know what I'm saying? This is his content. So he let it be known, he might be a bit biased because he is a Luce Cannon supporter. Well, I ain't gonna be biased. Nor am I a Luce Cannon supporter. Y'all know how we do it with the Hef weight and the Hef effect, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna stay unbiased. You know what I'm saying? We gonna give the most percentage in being unbiased that we can give. If you own some bullshit or you say some bullshit or you do some bullshit, it's just what it is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Definitely when you stepping and you're supposed to be this mythical creature that feeds on the weak and or bad in the street life. You know what I'm saying? We're going to hold you accountable. So, however, with that being said, he was reading out a whole bunch of court procedures, rules and regulations, how things go, what happened in the trial. As I already brought to y'all a few days ago, y'all already know that he was denied for being said that he's the menace to society, which he's caused all that on himself. You know what I'm saying? All these horrific acts, all these tough acts, uploading them, putting them out here to do the numbers and for social media to see that you're not a supposed buster and or weirdo. All these acts was just only making them look goofy. It was only making them look goofy. And I was saying this back then. I'm not one of them guys who was laughing at the content like, oh yeah, go Luce, get him. And then when he went to jail, talked about how stupid he was, or he a dummy. Because we got them hypocritical people like that. They were supporters, they was all for him. Now he in jail. Oh yeah, man, told you, dumb nigga in jail. Told you he was going to go to jail. Whole time, they wasn't telling you nothing. They was rooting for him. Like, when I was seeing a bunch of his antics and stuff like that, I was wondering how he wasn't in jail. Not that I wanted him to go to jail, because let somebody like me with extensive rap history and noticeably
to the streets and in the streets. Let me be up on here cutting up and doing stuff half of these dudes be doing, man. They would have been at my door. They would have been and kicked down my door and had me in cuffs, you know what I'm saying, hauling me off. So I guess being that he was being investigated in order, the feds was putting the investigation together, they didn't arrest him, you know what I'm saying? And they would do stuff like that. Like, you know, they would let you act a donkey, continue acting a donkey and racking up the accolades, you know what I'm saying, until they have enough severe evidence to show that you a menace to society or this is a pattern of things that you keep on doing. So amongst him reading, he's basically, what I take from what Seti Nash is saying is that the robbery that he's in jail for, the one that he has admittance on, the one that was already being investigated by the feds, but didn't know he had anything to do with it, it's feeling like he's saying that this is his only charge and it's not a bad charge, and more than likely he can beat it and or has the most probable cause leaning toward beating the case. Now we all know the case is surrounded around Big U. It's trumped up charges out the anal. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know if Big U is going to be prosecuted for all these charges. I haven't seen one person even that went to trial that was just found guilty on every charge that was brought up against him. I haven't seen it yet. You know what I'm saying? If you got some case notes or you know anybody, put it up and show me. However, it seems like Seti Nash is feeling like, being that Luce only has this one robbery so far, that he should be getting out, or it should be a slap on the wrist. And just because he got one charge and Big U got all these trumped up charges don't mean it's going to be a slap on the wrist. The feds are going to find other insensitives. If he's already been locked up before, that career criminal, depending on how many times he's been locked up and was it for robbery and what it was, that career criminal can be applied to him too. Not just Big U. It could be applied to him too. You know what I'm saying? If any guns or anything was found and he's been down for a gun, armed career criminal, that's a mandatory 15 off the back. So Luce Cannon is not all the way in the clear because he got this one robbery. You know what I'm saying? And then they've been speaking about this no jumper thing, which is going to come up, and we're going to get into that. But them saying that menace to society and them denying him, and we thinking in our mind that it's solely based on the menace to society and what he's saying on the internet, yes, but no. Whether he had all these internet threats, and let's just say hypothetically he just had the Big U thing to where he got on camera and implemented himself in a robbery that they knew nothing about. That is enough for the feds, regardless if they have no evidence for that, which they do. They already had a CI and a snitch telling on Big U, but didn't have the name of the other guys, and you got him getting on camera second-handing this information, and you don't think they took this to the guy who was telling, like, is this one of the guys that robbed you as well too? And he said, yeah, that is one of them, and he's learned about Luce Cannon as well. You got to be more thoughtful, people. So with that being said, he's not all the way in the clear. You know what I'm saying? He's not all the way in the clear. You know, a lot of people was hopping out there with assumptions that the feds might just be holding him to try to turn on Big U and stuff like that. They gonna try to turn anybody. As long as you not number one, if you not Big U or you not the number one in the indictment, from number 2 on down, they're going to try to turn you. Hey, is there anything you can help to make this concrete? And is any excessive evidence that you can help us with that can lighten your sentence or altogether cut you off the case? So Luce Cannon is definitely not out of the light.
It is therefore ordered that the defendant be detained prior to trial. It is further ordered that the defendant be committed to the custody of the Attorney General for confinement in corrections facilities separate to the extent practicable from persons awaiting a certain sentences or being held in custody pending trial. It is further ordered that the defendant be afforded reasonable opportunity for private consultation with counsel. It is further ordered that on order of a court of the United States or on request of an attorney for the government, the person in charge of the corrections facility in which the defendant is confined deliver the defendant to a United States Marshal for the purpose of an appearance in connection with a court proceeding dated April 9, 2025, but it just became available on Pacer today. So,
yeah, so you know, me myself already been through this, you know what I'm saying? Like, as I keep telling you guys, you know, I didn't go get the busted by the feds. I'm not the most savvy, I'm not a scholar in federal or anything like that, but I can just tell you my experience and the things I've been through, and I'm memorable how a lot of things go. So, look, you got Puff Daddy, for instance, right? Y'all see Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy got all his money, you know what I'm saying? Almost a B, if not a B, a billion. Y'all see, they denied Puff Daddy, you know what I'm saying? And Puff Daddy was willing to be on ankle monitor. Puff Daddy was willing to render his passports over. Puff Daddy was willing to render his son's passport over. So this is just a part of the progress of the legal system and them when they deny your bail, giving you reason why they denied your bail. Whether Luce Cannon had all those threats or not, that bail was going to still be denied. They was going to still hold him in custody for all the antics on No Jumper and stuff he was saying, and then he keep on getting on his phone call. Now, he ain't been on the phone in a few days, but all these broken hands and all this phone call stuff, this is the stuff is that going to keep this man in custody, and he keeps making content, and the feds are not okay with that. You know what I'm saying? They not okay with him feeling like, oh yeah, I ain't got no time like that, happy-go-lucky, and I'm still making content, because they will put some incentives on that robbery. And you got to understand, this is a marijuana weed dispensary robbery, and it was just so much surrounding this, and we don't even know the whole elements of this, even reading in the paperwork. That's just in the paperwork. They might come with something like, okay, we got him on a robbery. Okay, it was guns used. The robbery and guns, it's like almost bow legs, separate by itself. He got a gun in this dispensary, got a robbery. They took stuff, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what else Dale said, you know what I'm saying, if any harm was placed on him, although it was alleged that he was at Big U house. So if $40,000 was told to get back to this dude, ain't no telling how much they passed on out of this weed dispensary, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm saying, it's going to be gun allegations. It's going to be allegations of him being a gangbanger, banging 60s. All that. So he's not in the clear, and it's not going to just be a walk in the park. You know what I'm saying? Just because Big U have the biggest portion of the case. Some of that stuff is going to fall to the wayside. He's not going to be found guilty on all that stuff. And don't be surprised just because that man has that one little charge that he's just going to walk free or get a tap on the wrist. No. The feds is playing hardball, and they're going to continue to play hardball. Anything they can stick him with in our evidence, and they already asking people, do they want to press play as far as him threatening them and stuff like that. So, something else I want to get to that was said and brought up is that the No Jumper incident. So it's being said, you know what I'm saying, that this No Jumper incident is blurry on camera. I have the incident. I ain't looked at the incident in months since around the time it happened. However, I'm going to have to go look over this incident again to conclude myself if this is blurry. Even if this situation is blurry, they're still going to find Luce County guilty of this situation because he second-handed this situation. He had segments day and day after this situation happened, speaking on this situation. Oh, yeah, that's why they got whooped on. Oh, that wasn't no play. Oh, this for real. You can hear his voice in the background. Like, come on, man. Like, the feds, they so cold. They have lip reader, voice readers, professional voice hearers, and all type of stuff in that courtroom playing with them. You hear his voice in the background talking. It ain't like that this footage, if I serve myself correctly, I don't remember it being silent. You hear the boy's voice in the background, and it's already been said that they're going to get the other guy whose name has been said and being broadcast. That was in the video, you know what I'm saying? One of Luce Cannon alleged henchmen, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a few videos, you know what I'm saying, with him kicking ass, you know what I'm saying, that's not even out. But we talking about what's out. So, whether it's blurry or not, it's like it's how the feds work. I've seen dudes come to the feds and be in there for ghost dope. And what I mean by ghost dope is some dope they never touched or seen. Just because they admitted to it or admit that they wanted to buy it or they was about to come rob it, the dope went on them. All 20 keys that wasn't even there that they never seen. These are the bait and trick games that the feds play. So just because this camera is said to be blurry, the man admitted to it. He admitted to it. It was segments spent from it. Jay Reed was interviewed. That is a statement with Jay Reed, like basically, yeah, man, they called me up there, man. I didn't know nothing. I thought we was friends and stuff like that. But y'all heard Luce Cannon come out and say itself, man, I'm the devil. I did that. I told y'all I don't play no games. This ain't no play. So regardless if that's blurry, you know what I'm saying, he already ran with that. He admitted to it.
The risk of being declared a career criminal, which in and of itself invokes a mandatory minimum of decades of time. And that's how the federal system works. It's a point system as it relates for how a punishment could be meted out. So when he has all these different variety of crimes, you add that to his prior convictions, and you're looking at a staggering amount of time as it relates to prison exposure. And that's why many people plead, because you're up against a very difficult decision. Do I risk what might be hundreds of years in prison, or do I take 10, 15, 20 years, which is still an amazing amount of time, but you still have an opportunity to come home and restart your life, versus 300 years, which is essentially a death sentence.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of surprised that given this overwhelming amount of evidence, it seems like from federal prosecutors and from authorities, that I was a little surprised that Big U pleaded not guilty. Now, again, he maintains his innocence in all of this, but as in terms of him not going through with the plea, in this case, now going to trial, what's your reaction? What do you think it could look like?
Well, he's going to have amount of time to review the federal government's evidence against him and try to challenge it, and then mount his own defense. At some point in time, as you mentioned, he will have to make the decision. Am I going to try to make a deal or accept an offer, or will I have to go to trial? Those are going to be heavy concerns and considerations for him to think through, because as we discussed, he's looking at an inordinate amount of time, and the federal government will give you that time. There's no question. So this will be a very difficult deal to weigh upon the witnesses coming to court and cooperating. But that's actually a very common tactic of the federal government, is when you're facing a federal prosecution, oftentimes they already have the witnesses against you in the bag, so to speak, and they're cooperating, and they have sentences, and they have statements and interviews and recorded evidence. So oftentimes when you see a federal indictment, the federal government has already done the research, they've already done their homework, but that doesn't mean people do not beat these charges. That certainly can happen. So
allow me to say this as well. We go get to what the law brother talking about. Now, the Fed is the Fed, but the Fed do have different circuits. You know what I'm saying? They do have different circuits and the circuit. Yeah, I'm right. So basically, they got the 9th Circuit, 8th Circuit, 7th Circuit, 6th Circuit, 5th Circuit, 4th Circuit, 3rd Circuit, 2nd Circuit, 1st Circuit, where I started from the 9th, 10th Circuit, 11th Circuit, 12th Circuit, I think go to like the 13th Circuit. So the circuits, it all depends on what region you fall in. So let's just say California, that's the 9th Circuit. You might have like a Virginia, that's the 4th Circuit. But Virginia, if it's close to like DC or, another state, they might all fall up in that circuit. Now, the state and feds are two different places. So what I mean by that is they play two different ball games. If they offering for a robbery in the state, they're not offering that in the Fed. So people just thinking Luce Cannon got this one little robbery. Oh, it ain't nothing compared to what Big U got. Oh, he about to come home. He could potentially get 10 to 15 years off that one robbery. And then let's stop playing with this no jumper stuff. Allegedly, you hear a voice. They say it's blurry. We don't know if anybody telling. And I wouldn't be surprised when the feds have visited Adam 22 house and came to talk to him, that they probably asked for footage on that too, and or the police department out there, which is what's that? Man. Y'all know what no jumper at. Well, I caught a brain for it right now. So out there where no jumper at, that police department had issued a police report. But as y'all see, people like, man, it's blurry. They issued a police report. He's going to be charged with that. And how the feds play, they looking at that camera, they seeing weapons banished, all type of stuff. Man, look, it's about to watch and see. Watch how ugly it gets if he don't roll over on Big U or give them what they want, as y'all saying. Watch what happens. Now, furthermore, let's get into what the good law brother was saying. So basically, he's talking about career criminal, Big U, all these trumped up charges. Big U been out of prison, if I serve myself correct from what I hear people say, anywhere north of 2005, 2006. Big U been out of prison for over 15 years. He been out of prison for over 15 years. Let's just say 20 years. Let's just give him 20. The feds only can go back as far as 10 years on your cases. So if you somebody who's been out here in society 15 years and you got an extensive history from back in the days, they can't use that on you. None of that even qualifies. You know what I'm saying? Like all that state stuff that Big U did from the time he got off parole, and as long as it's been over 15 years, you really can't even bring that up to give him a career criminal. Now, if he's been somebody who's been recently in trouble or have been in trouble within the past 10 years, and then he gets locked up with all these trumped up charges, then yeah, off the back, it's a career criminal. But somebody like Luce Cannon can get a career criminal. All it takes is, if I serve myself correct, 3 of the same charges or 2 identical charges, then it's fair charge. So let's say he got 2 gun cases in a state, and then he go federal for this robbery that he admitted to, you know what I'm saying, and alleged Big U in it. That's a career criminal right there. Or career criminal. You know what I'm saying? He fits the elements of this. So don't get caught up in this one little robbery and just think, you know what I'm saying, it's good on his behalf. The feds is playing the game. Them putting the threat stuff out there, that's just small stuff just to debunk him going home. That can debunk that without the threats, you know what I'm saying? But you want to know why, you know what I'm saying, we got to provide this to your lawyer, you know what I'm saying? This is law, so this is what we going to provide. All these menacing acts, you acting crazy, you not safe in the environment. We scared you going to do something to somebody. We scared, you know what I'm saying, you going to go off, you know what I'm saying? We scared that you might cut your ankle monitor off, you know what I'm saying, and try to board a flight and get up out of here. So we got to keep you in there. But with that being said, man, y'all see all this going on, man, in the news, man. And we're going to continue watching, and we're going to continue seeing, and we're going to continue to follow and see what happens. And with that being said, man, y'all already know I'm going to conclude it there. It's your boy, Young and Hefe. Don't care about number what the check say. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe, because it don't cost you nothing. And press that button. And if you ring that notification bell, I'm going to bring you mail.
Keeping it real and showing love, absolutely free. Still some of the hardest shit for a lot of you bitch ass niggas to do. So if you ain't a bitch ass nigga, let me see you keep it real and show me some love and share this post right here, cake ass nigga.